found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com. Home of the
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Fired up, focused, and prepared for you today on a Tuesday, should you choose to accept it. Should you choose to accept it today, fired up, focused, and prepared for you. The subject of today's program is very simple, and that's that Joel Klatt's a clown. Nico is a victim. You need it turned up? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Joel Klatt's a clown. Nico's a victim. And there we go. And we all have our narratives, right? You know what's funny? As I bring the great John Adams in now, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. What's funny about the way things are lining up in college football right now is Joel Klatt has turned into the hatchet man for the Big Ten. And Danny Cannell's the hatchet man for the ACC. And these guys kind of play their part. Matt, we've got a little professional wrestling going on in college football right now. And college football's always had a little professional wrestling in it. But we've got a little bit of professional wrestling going on right now in college football, Matt. That's what we're seeing here. And they're triggering people.
Yeah, they're very good at what they do, and they know they can say things that elicit discussion and get views and listens on their podcasts or Twitter mentions, whatever. Some guys are better at it than others, and some, you know, like Danny Cannell doesn't even hide it. He kind of plays into it, even, I guess.
Yes.
So, but no, it's what the off season's for. But luckily, the off season's kind of already gone and winding down for just a few more days, and then we can actually watch real football and discuss what happens on the field, which is a welcome sight for everybody.
Well, and you know, and what we're discussing here is the fact that Joel Klatt basically took a dump all over the University of Tennessee and all over Nico in this deal, and basically came out and said that he basically came out and said that Tennessee got away with all of this. Was the takeaway quote. And essentially what he said is Nico left Knoxville because the team around him wasn't good enough, and Team Nico wanted Tennessee to install more pro set type stuff because they wanted him to grow as a professional player. And Matt, that kind of gets back to this. Are college coaches, are they responsible for winning games and running their stuff, or developing guys for the next level? What's their responsibility, Matt?
It's winning games. And I mean, a lot of times that goes hand in hand, obviously, but with Heupel's unique offense, it doesn't. And for some reason, this discussion was brought up, last night on Twitter, and it just frustrates the hell out of me when people talk about how this offense doesn't translate to the NFL. I mean, that's obvious. That's well over a decade. This veer and shoot stuff, the offensive, especially the passing game stuff, nobody in the NFL uses it, so it doesn't work that way. And that's why we see guys kind of struggling to stick around or have an impact like Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't work in college. It's very good in college, and that's kind of the whole point.
So, John, how do you answer that? And that's why I think the beauty of Heupel's offense has always been that you could take guys who are okay, like high school players, and be really, really successful with them at this level. You don't need 5-star quarterbacks to play this offense. You just don't. And you need guys that fit the offense. Obviously, the kid that played at Oregon last year is going to get a real opportunity. The Browns like him, and he's going to get a real opportunity to stick. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I don't see what the fuss is all about. John, is it our responsibility to develop guys for the next level?
No, but in recruiting, that's often a sales pitch. You want to be able to say, we can help put you in the NFL.
Yep.
However, if you look at what Josh Heupel's done, who's he putting in the NFL?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, Hendon Hooker was just released by the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
I got an email from a Tennessee fan, and he's also a Detroit Lions fan, and he said that Hendon Hooker really hadn't gotten any better with the Lions, which I don't watch the Detroit Lions that much, so I couldn't address that. But I thought Hendon Hooker was a borderline pro prospect.
Yeah.
I didn't think of him as a great pro prospect. I don't think of Joe Milton as a great pro prospect.
No.
But he's hanging around. I didn't think of Joshua Dobbs in another system was a great pro prospect. But he's been able to play and stay on a roster. So Josh Heupel he's got to do what's best for his program. That's got to be what he thinks about at all times in making decisions, what's best for his program. Now he has a commitment from Faison Brandon, so who is the number one quarterback in the class.
Yep.
So why, if this offense is so not geared to the end of developing you for the NFL, why is he even interested in Tennessee?
It's a great question.
Maybe he needs to look at Tennessee a little more. With Nico, this is a decision that should have been made in the beginning, not 2 years into Tennessee and say, oh, I thought he was a great fit for Josh Heupel's offense, and I was wrong. He wasn't. I think he would be better in a different system, but why did he make the decision to come to Tennessee if he didn't think that system was right?
Joel Klatt said that the Tennessee's controlled the narrative the entire offseason and made the family look like they're spoiled quitters.
Well,
when in fact he said that they went to Tennessee and tried to get them to change the offense, and they didn't like the pieces that were around him. They didn't like the supporting cast, As far as I'm concerned, that's just a guy right there. Joel Klatt is just a guy feeding a wrestling narrative, being a heel in Knoxville, being a heel across the East Tennessee footprint, and fighting for the league he covers. We're going to start seeing more of this as these guys jump from team to team and conference to conference. Good guy, bad guy, heel and babyface. That's my read on it. Now, do I think that Tennessee was going to do some different things this year on offense? Yes. Matt and John and Bry, does it feel like, and I'm just asking you, does it feel like these college defensive coordinators have caught up to this offense somewhat as we watch the game?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
it
they
does.
have. And that's how football goes.
Yes.
It's always, in most sports, they're about adjustments. Baseball especially. Football too, though. But I just, if I go back and look at Nico's situation, he was being shopped around in December. Okay. So if it's not about the money, and he's not happy with the supporting cast, and he's not happy with the style of offense, why did he just go somewhere else in December? Why doesn't he leave then?
Joel Klatt said, here's why I defend Nico a little bit. He never got a chance to tell his side of the story. Tennessee
had a chance.
Tennessee ran out basically a propaganda effort and got to tell the story without Nico being involved at all. It's not about money. It really wasn't. If it was, he wouldn't have been at UCLA. That's a telltale sign. He wanted the offense to grow with him, and let me tell you why. The offense Josh Heupel runs is like a glorified high school offense. It's the old Art Briles offense they ran at Baylor. And the reason it doesn't develop quarterbacks is because everything is half-field read. So it's wide receiver choice routes on one side of the field, which is why none of those Baylor quarterbacks ever made it in the NFL. And Nico understood that, and he knew that. So they wanted the offense to expand and grow and develop. Hey, Joel, the guy came here and he was here for 2 years. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It makes it makes no sense.
I mean,
if you don't like this offense, don't come here. Why did he come here? Because he wanted the money.
Does Hendon Hooker even get drafted if he stays at Virginia Tech?
No.
He wouldn't have even been the starting quarterback there.
No, he wouldn't have gotten a sniff, Bri.
Cedric Tillman had 8 catches in like 4 years before Heupel got here. He wasn't going to sniff the NFL. Jalen Hyatt, I mean, who knows if he was going to ever sniff the NFL, but he just had the best season in school history and won the Blitnikoff. Well, both sides can be right, but John's right here. It's not like Heupel changed his offense once Nico came here or after Nico committed. This has been Heupel's offense for a decade. So all that's just disingenuous to use that. The stuff about not having playmakers around him or not having a good offensive line, those are actually can be valid excuses. But to say it's not about the money and that you wanted a pro-style offense, that's just, I mean, that just is idiotic to say.
Of course.
Does he really think UCLA has a team around him that's any good either?
That's the other thing for Joel Klatt. Why would he go?
Yeah.
It wasn't about the money, but I'm going to go to an offense. Now, I will say this about what they're trying to do, what Sinceri's trying to do offensively. That offense is going to fit Nico better than this offense did. And if they had a full complement, he would have an offense that's more suited to his skill set. But at the same time, look, the thing we said about Heupel when he got this gig was, and it was a spot Tennessee was in at the time, the offense, and it's still true, the offense he runs allows you to take lessor players, and be successful with them at this level. It's just the truth. You don't need. Now, we all say, hey, we'd like to see the 5-star running back. I'd love to see that. I would love to see one of those guys. But you know what? Dylan Sampson's a guy I slept on. He's getting ready to start in the NFL. So he must be a hell of a player. Everybody slept on Dylan Sampson last year, myself included. You kept saying that. Matt kept saying that. Why is he not getting traction for the Heisman Trophy? Why is he not getting more love nationally? And we all kind of failed him, myself included.
Well, yeah, Dylan Sampson was a really good player in the SEC.
Yeah.
And that says all you need to say if you're a really good player in the SEC. But back to this thing with Nico again.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happened is all these players now, it's all about the money. Remember when it used to be, or can you get me to the next level? Because everybody thinks they're going to be playing in the NFL for 10 years.
Yeah.
All these guys that play college football think, I get in the right system, I get the right coach, and I'll be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now the narrative has changed. It's they want the money right now. Okay? So, excuse me. What's going on here?
Well, you're the one that came in here slamming the door today.
Yeah, scared
Laura just handed me a script. Yeah, you scared her half to death.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to welcome a new sponsor to the station. Shout out to my man Mark Lester, my friends at T3 Vodka. The T3 TD of the game will be presented on Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction, which comes your way as soon as Saturday's game concludes. We're excited about it. And this stuff is handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. It is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka, 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award winner. Believe that. You got to ask for it by name. Drink it neat, drink it right. T3 Vodka. Score a TD, a T3 TD every time. And listen, the thing about the Nico deal is, Joel Klatt, tell me something I didn't know. This offense has put up great numbers. Now, what's going to be interesting here, okay, is how do they modify this offense going forward? And because they have to modify it. We've heard they're working on some checks for the 3 high safety look. And we're going to see.
But here's another thing that's happening with this offense.
Yeah.
Tennessee is running the ball.
Yeah.
Which is a big help to its defense. If you can run the ball in college football, everybody can benefit.
Yep.
But I just, if you want to be about the money, then fine, be about the money. But then don't change it midstream and say, oh, now we're all about development. Now that we've been getting paid $2 million or whatever a year to be average, now we're going to be about development.
Because we're going to go to UCLA that has no players.
We're going to UCLA.
It has no players.
And see, if he would have said, if he'd have gone somewhere else and gone to a school that runs a different style offense and not taken any money, if this is so important, just go for a scholarship. Go get with the best program.
How about this? Miami produced the Cam Ward guy, right?
Him and
his father went to Miami and initiated the deal. This is what happened. We talked about it in real time. I didn't care that he was a quarterback here. I talked about it because guess what? It was a truth. And it pissed some of you off. I don't care that it pissed you off at the time because it's true now and it was true then. What they did is they went to Miami. They tried to orchestrate a thing behind Tennessee's back. Tennessee called. Hey, Matt, what was the backup quarterback that lives in the Carolinas? What's the kid's name? Help me out here. He's now down at Central Florida.
Gaston Moore.
They called Gaston Moore and said, hey, Gaston, we might need you to come back here. Why? Right around Christmas. Because we found out that Nico's people have been talking to Miami. Tennessee proactively reached out to Miami and said, hey, that $2.5–3 million figure that they're talking about with you is not true. Miami offered the kid $1.5 million. Now, if Joel Klatt is telling me the truth, okay, Nico would have gone right there, right to the spot that produced Cam Ward at the top of the NFL draft, but he didn't. And you know why he didn't, John? Say it once again. Because it's what was it about, John?
MONEY.
to the phones we go. Let's get our first call in. Hey, listen, Joel Klatt's he's spewing half truths as far as I'm concerned.
But Tony, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Attacking Joe Klatt, like Matt said earlier, he's just doing his job.
He's doing the gig. Yeah.
He's doing his job. So this really isn't about Joe Klatt as much as it's about Nico, and Tennessee made mistakes in this.
Yeah.
Tennessee made mistakes. It should have realized when he's talking about going to Miami last year.
Goodbye.
See ya.
That's the lesson.
Go to Miami. Yeah.
Joel Klatt is a clown, and let's go to the phones to get our first call in. Hello and welcome.
You won't let that go.
He's a clown.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Columbo. Welcome in. Mark in Columbus. Welcome in.
I'm going to surprise you all day. I'm agreeing with everything you say, and I'm going to defend Tennessee on this. I'm on record. I would have paid him. Now, I'm also on record saying I'm probably wrong, and it would probably been the wrong move, but I would have paid him. Now, with Hendon Hooker getting waived and the Dante Thornton comments and this Joel Klatt stuff coming out, first of all, Hendon Hooker's 27 years old, playing behind a guy with a long-term contract. There's nowhere for him to go in Detroit. It's a common wave. Like, he was hurt coming in. Come on. That's because the offense he played in college. Come on.
Well, and the other thing is Hendon Hooker was great in this offense, but when I watched him and looked at his arm, and I didn't think he threw a heavy enough ball to play in the NFL. It was just sort of my read on him. But I never thought he'd be a frontline NFL quarterback. Now, with his skill set and his character, I think he'll latch on somewhere.
He'll be a career backup.
Sort of like Josh, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of best gig in the world.
32 starting NFL jobs. They're hard to get.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You got to be really good.
Yes, sir.
But Dante Thornton, and I don't think Dante was being malicious. I think in the context, he was asked a question about what he had to do at Tennessee and how it didn't translate. But Dante's son, you couldn't run a route at Oregon either. And that's why, with all the money in the world, they let you walk. God love you.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best. But come on.
Essentially, what Dante Thornton at Columbus, what Dante Thornton said for the uninitiated. This was back in the summer, combine time. He was on a podcast essentially, and he said, "Look, they told me with the Raiders that they had to go back and watch my film from Oregon because the stuff at Tennessee does not. They have trouble translating it to this level." He said, so they had to go back and they had to watch my film at Oregon. And, we kind of got
I don't have a problem saying that.
No, I don't either. It is what it is.
It's fine. It's fine. But, Tony, if you have talent, it doesn't matter where you look. Gus Malzahn didn't exactly run a pro style, and Cam Newton ended up all right. Okay? But please.
It's true.
But on to Nico. All
right. Tell me about it.
I believe Josh Heupel was the football coach when Nico committed and signed at Tennessee, correct?
Correct, absolutely.
I believe Nico went through an entire fall of practices his freshman year when he sat. Didn't transfer then. He knew what the offense was. He didn't transfer. He stayed. So it's just only happened when his son underperformed, and when he went back to Tennessee for like a fourth raise in 3 months, and Tennessee finally told him, enough, we're done. Now, I mean, I'm defending Tennessee here. This is ridiculous that this has become a narrative attached to this kid. Like, if he was he didn't go to Ohio State, he didn't go to Texas, he didn't even go to Lincoln Riley. He went to UCLA. Come on. And you know me, I'd have paid him.
And maybe it was the right play to pay him. We don't know that, Maybe this year is going to prove that the right play for him and for us would have been to stay here. Maybe it blows up on everybody, or maybe we live happily ever after. But the point is, and you guys are making a great point, which is this guy knew what he was getting himself into. I mean, obviously, right, Mark? They knew what they were getting themselves into.
And another thing is this, Tony, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, guys like that would have gotten 5 minutes of that father and said, we're out. They wouldn't have gotten involved. They would have been able to read the room. But we wanted to make a big splash in recruiting, and we wanted to show that we're in business. And that, if Heupel can, my problem is not with like letting Nico walk so much. It's the fact that they don't think about this, Tony. Those two quarterbacks he saw on Saturday, Tennessee wanted both of those guys over the guy they brought in. What's that tell you about this guy? That's my problem with it. Now, if he could smoke and mirror this thing to where they got 2 losses going into Florida, you go down there and you take your shot, and if he gets this thing to 10-2 in the playoffs, I'll be thrilled over the moon, and I'll say I was completely wrong. But that was my main issue is who they got to come in and replace Nico, more so than Nico leaving. My opinion, Nico, at his peak, is Justin Herbert. Well, does he ever get there? Probably not, considering the mess he has around him. But this idea that the Tennessee offense can't produce any pro players, and that's why Nico left, it's just complete garbage. Come on. They bent over backwards for that kid until they couldn't do any more. It's just ridiculous.
Well, let's
again. He didn't go to Ohio State. He didn't go to Texas. He didn't go play.
How
for
about
Lincoln
going to
Riley.
Miami? Hey, Miami produced. He
went to UCLA.
Miami produced.
After the spring too. If he was serious about being good on the field, he would have left and been at a place for spring practice.
That's right, Matt.
He sat his entire freshman year in practice every day for an entire season. He knew the offense he was going to get into. He didn't have a problem with it then. His dad only had a problem with it when the kid underperformed and Tennessee wouldn't acquiesce to his 5th ask of a raise in 3 months. It's just, what is Joel Klatt talking about? Now, I agree. The talent around him, the wide receivers around him, I didn't think they were good enough. But to say that it's because of the offense, it's just ridiculous. It's such revisionist history. And, again, I would have paid him.
Thank you, Mark. Excellent call. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
When you look at Nico in the spring, making a move, Southern California was not interested in him. Now, I'm not sold on Southern USC's quarterback. He did okay last year. He's got some potential, but he's not a guaranteed winner. I don't think anybody would say that. So, but USC, with plenty of money and with a coach who's starting to take heat because they expect a championship for the amount of money they're paying Lincoln Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't he seize the opportunity and said, let's go get this Nico Yamaleava?
To get this guy that can really play.
Yeah, this could save us.
Yeah.
We're maybe a quarterback away. We've got some good receivers here. Southern Cal always has talent. But when he went to UCLA, that told you what the market in the rest of college football, the kind of powers that be that can afford to get a sure thing. Well, look, what did Miami pay Carson Beck? If it was willing to pay Carson, that's very revealing. Because Carson Beck, I don't think...
It was awful last year, John.
12 interceptions.
Johnny was awful.
12 interceptions in a 6-game stretch. And I don't think Kirby Smart's crying over Carson Beck leaving, even though he may not have a quarterback as talented. He didn't like the way things were going with Carson Beck. You're not going to win a championship with that guy. Miami didn't get the next Cam Ward when he got Carson Beck. But my point is, it was willing to spend big bucks on Carson Beck, but not on Nico.
Matt, your thoughts on Colombo's call? Anything you want to add to it? Then we go back to the phones, because I'm of the opinion that Joel Klatt's a clown. Tell me something I didn't know. Sure, Hendon Hooker got cut by the Lions, whatever. These offenses they're incongruent to the pro game. It doesn't mean you can't come here. It doesn't mean that Faison Brandon can't come here, have a great career, go on and play in the NFL. It's not what it means.
Well, RG3 was in this office with Art Browse.
That's exactly right.
RG3 didn't fail in the NFL
No, he got
because
hurt.
of the offense.
That's exactly right.
But that guy was showing tremendous talent.
That's exactly right.
And he got hurt.
Couldn't stay healthy. Matt, your thoughts on this? And the thing that I keep parking on that John keeps talking about, if it really was about, hey, Nico's a pro prospect, needs to play, why did he go to Miami, Matt, for $1 million? That's what he should have done. Just take $1 million. If you're going to take $1 million from UCLA, go to Miami, take $1 million, and go play ball.
Well, that's why it's just not true, and they can spin that narrative all they want. And leaving after the spring is the part that I can't get around. Like, that's being an unserious quarterback.
Yep.
That you're going to leave out, like you leave in December, so you have a full spring and summer to learn a new offense and figure out who's around you. You go through spring, and then maybe because you're there, you can go get some guys in the portal after spring to help you if you need them, like all that stuff. But the whole leaving after spring practice is just screams that he's not a serious quarterback.
Do you guys believe that Team Nico fed this to this Klatt guy? Or do you think
Of course they did.
They did?
I mean, well, somebody did. I mean, Joel Klatt, granted, he's, looking like an idiot here, but he's smart enough to know what really happened. There's no way he really believes that it was about the offense and all that. I mean, that's just not. And USC got a guy from UNLV to be their starter, so it's not like they were. Miller Moss went to Louisville, and so it's not like USC was has the next Caleb Williams on campus.
They need to win now, and they don't. I mean, they weren't interested, and even though they need to win right now because the heat's on that coach.
That spoke volumes. The first thing I thought of when I hear that Nico's leaving, I said, well, he's going to USC.
You and I were talking.
Yeah. I mean, USC needs a difference maker.
Yep.
And it has talent, even though its record didn't necessarily indicate that. But going back to Joe Klatt, though, here's the thing about Matt's applying, and we're applying logic to this.
Right.
Where it makes no sense. But when you're in this business, in the podcast business, you don't have to make sense. You got to throw an opinion out there that will generate discussion, and we're discussing it. And the other thing, he doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter whether he got this from a source. I mean, yeah, they were using him, but he's used them as well.
Yeah, but I just, if you really think that thing through, and I've thought it through, and I'm not a Nico hater, but I don't think he's as good as a lot of people think he is, and I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is, and he's certainly not as good as his father thinks he is, and he's in for a rude awakening because he can't play. It doesn't matter whether he would have played here, would have played there, would have played on the moon, would have played at Miami this year. He can't play. And by the way, I didn't do that. Take a brief time out, come back. I want to get some calls in. In the second hour, we're going to preview Syracuse. We're going to do this all ahead. So the takeaway here is Joel Klatt's a clown, and he's doing their bidding. Nico's a victim. Yeah, Nico's a victim here. The guy left after spring practice, Matt, and he's a victim. Joel Klatt calls him a victim, Matt, of the Tennessee spin machine.
Go fund Nico. He's a victim.
The guy and his father left. They left after spring. Nobody does that.
Nobody sits out, doesn't show up for spring for a practice.
That's idiotic. Yeah, like you said, if you really are serious, because this goes back to what Sean Sinclair says, which is goofy recruitment, goofy career, which is correct. Even in the NIL era, if you're one of these people that commits 5 different places, chances are you're an idiot and you're not worth dealing with. No offense to you. So,
what about Boo Carter?
As we continue with more on the other side after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
Next week is your last chance to see your Knoxville Smokies in action this season.
No way.
Join us for our final All-You-Can-Eat Wednesday. Less than $30 gets you into the game and all the food your stomach can handle. We also have Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers, fireworks Friday and Saturday nights, and Fan Appreciation Day on Sunday with free prizes given out during the game. It's your last chance, so get those tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
The end of summer means big savings and no more excuses to not call Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Don't let plumbing or HVAC problems follow you into fall, and take care of them now while the kids head back to school. Whether it's a leaky pipe, outdated water heater, or AC unit struggling to keep up, the expert team at Pipe Wrench is here to help you transition smoothly into fall with a home that's running efficiently and worry-free. This month only, enjoy 10% off any plumbing or HVAC service, including repairs, replacements, or maintenance. And Peace of Mind Maintenance Plan members will get an additional 10% off for 20% in total savings. From repairs to tune-ups to replacements, we'll help you check home comfort off your end of summer or back-to-school to-do list. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. So don't let HVAC or plumbing issues slow you down this season, and don't delay as the offer ends August 31st. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. And by the way, we are live Friday at Calhoun's, fired up, focused, and prepared, and trying to do this justice here as we're with you on a John Adams Tuesday presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. Before you buy, sell, or trade, don't you dare do it without the great Jennifer Morris, who I had a great conversation with yesterday, and just a really sweet gal, just an absolute gem in our midst is the great Jennifer Morris. Joel Klatt's a clown. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. His makes no sense. Now, is Tennessee's offense an offense that's going to prepare you for NFL football? John's right. You can always point to RG3 and say, hey, he played in it, and he was a successful NFL quarterback till he got hurt.
Can you imagine Jaden Daniels, formerly of LSU, in this system?
Oh, my God.
He would have had an unbelievable – well, he had an unbelievable career anyway, but
he would have been unreal.
And so, yeah, so even if he would have – somebody with Jaden Daniels' talent –
yeah.
Don't tell me that they couldn't go to the NFL. It didn't matter what. I mean, they could have run the single wing or the wishbone. With that talent, you go to the NFL, you're going to be able to make a team.
Somebody who's a scout and a talented scout and has a great eye for talent knows that somebody who can play. Doesn't matter what system you're in. The question becomes, is it the coach's responsibility to get you there? Nico and his family knew what they were getting into. They knew what they were getting into. But they obviously didn't know too much, because if Joel Klatt's narrative is to be believed about Tennessee, and it happens on a day where Hendon Hooker gets released, so he's sitting there going, yeah, see, that's what I told you. See what I told you? I told you that, see? You would have gone to Miami, though. You would have leveraged yourself to Miami. You would have crawled to Miami. If you really believed in yourself that much, you wouldn't have been trying to work them for $2.5 million, which is what his family did. And John's right. Let's talk about what this is really about on our TLD Logistics phone lines. It's about the Deshay Monet. As it is with most things, as we get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Thanks, boys. It's Rusty.
Hey, Rusty, welcome in.
Thanks, man. So, I don't know if people keep up with Klatt much, but Klatt is just a step off of Danny Cannell.
Yeah.
In his hyping of anti-SEC.
Yep.
And Cannell's all, the ACC is just as good, and it's his whole shtick. And Klatt's whole shtick is, I'm a Fox guy, and I cover the Big Ten, and everybody claiming the SEC is they're the black hat and we're the white hat, and it's all that crap. This is just another of Klatt's try to get a narrative of big bad SEC and we're the good guys over here.
Professional wrestling.
And it's a narrative that plays well in today's world.
Sure it is.
Of course it is.
Sure it is.
And Danny Cannell's he's been pretty transparent about it. He kind of does it tongue-in-cheek almost. Yeah. He likes needling the SEC. So it works.
But he also believes what he's shoveling sometimes too. He likes the sound of his own voice. Well, and I know something about that.
It's kind of like this, Rusty. These people, like I know a lot of people who are in the whole wrestling deal. It's always kind of fascinated me. And it's like these guys that start believing their own gimmick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, that's not who you are. I mean, it's who you are when you get in the ring. And sometimes when I listen to things Joel Klatt says down through the years, or Danny Cannell, you kind of wonder, where does your gimmick end and you begin, and have you lost yourself in the sauce?
So you become the gimmick is what you're saying.
Yeah, you live in your own gimmick.
Yeah, for sure. Flair did that. Flair became the nature boy.
Yeah.
And he still thinks he is and all that, but I'm sure there's moments of reflection where he's not. But, you know, for the most part, he is. This whole thing, and the whole thing about Hooker, I don't think Hooker was ever an NFL quarterback. And here's the thing. It's all about what would anybody think that Jalen Hurts could go play in Detroit's offense and play the way Jared Goff does? Does your organization fit you? And will they make it work? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Jalen Hurts is better in the NFL than he ever was at Oklahoma or Alabama, and it's because somebody was smart enough to figure out how to build something that plays to his strengths. Josh Dobbs should go be the backup in Philly because he's not Jalen Hurts, but he is much closer to playing in that kind of offense as almost as good as Jalen Hurts backup than he would be anywhere else trying to be fit into a round hole when he's a square peg. It's all about fit.
Rusty, and you follow the Eagles. Eagle Nation has an ongoing conversation with itself and an argument of did they just win a Super Bowl and play in another one in spite of Jalen Hurts? That's literally the argument those people are having with themselves. Instead of, hey, we've got a guy that can really function well in this offense and can manage the offense, and you know he doesn't have conventional quarterback stuff, but what he does have is he's extremely savvy, he's extremely team-oriented, he's extremely good at getting them in the right plays, and then when it's 4th and 1 and he squats 600 pounds, you're not stopping a guy that gets his pads that low to the ground. You're just not.
But the
bottom line is it doesn't look like Ron Jaworski playing. It doesn't look like Tom Brady playing.
Right.
But you know what it looks like? It looks like a team that scores more points playing that way than the other team.
And that's kind of the point here with since all politics are local. Yeah, like does Tennessee – Matt thinks that these offenses, and John does too, these offenses have been kind of found out here. So what's the next check? When I see a three-high safety look, what are they going to do?
Can we get? I'm glad you went there because that was something else I want to talk about. First of all, we were terrible at guard, center, and guard last year. We couldn't pass protect. Those three guys in the middle, and I'm not trying to hurt Cooper Mays' feelings. And the two guards, they couldn't block. They got put. The run game was great because it's all zone. They don't have to move guys. You just have to screen your guy, but they could not keep guys from collapsing in the pocket. That was a huge problem in the pass game. And the other part is bringing up those two quarterbacks that played on Saturday in Dublin. Both of those guys, when guys were running wide open for them, they completed the passes. Both of those guys could have functioned in this offense probably better than they looked playing in Dublin the other day because there was a bunch of guys running wide open last year still with the three high looks that we couldn't complete passes to. 20 times last year we had guys running naked and didn't complete them. If you hit half of those, suddenly you're a team that threw 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and you look great. and the running game is still flying high. The narrative that the offense has regressed. It's more about couldn't block in the interior of the line, and we couldn't hit plays when they were there. I think either one of those guys would have been okay in this offense. And I think we were just trying to find a quarterback, Mark, I love you. We were trying to find a quarterback anywhere out there that had experience as a starter. And we kicked the tires on like 30 dudes. And then one became available because the guy we had went and supposedly took his job at UCLA. So we were like, hey, this guy's got tons of starter experience, thrown for a bunch of yards, bunch of touchdowns, a bunch of interceptions like Carson Beck. But we think he can complete a 40-yard pass when a guy's running wide open. So we're gonna go bring him on campus. The offense isn't broken.
Well,
but it helps if you can complete a pass.
Well, also though, you have to recruit better wide receivers too. Tennessee's receiving core was mediocre at best last year. I think it's going to be mediocre this year. Maybe not. Maybe it'll prove me wrong.
Mediocre or just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean.
Brew was a shell of himself. Squirrel was hurt all year. Thornton was hurt most of the time, and Brazil was not carrying enough. But John, I disagree. I don't think the offense needs better receivers. I think it needs to hit the plays when they're wide open, and we didn't last year. Just go look, man. Go watch back last year all the missed opportunities when those same lackluster receivers we saw last year weren't open, and if Hendon Hooker was throwing them the ball, they would have been a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, but I still think in this offense, you mentioned quarterbacks you think that could function really well in this offense. Avery Johnson in Kansas State in the game in Ireland, his team lost, but you're right, he did hit open receivers. Timed his passes perfectly. They were wide open on a couple of those TDs. But I think if you get the quarterback who fits the system and then get the 5-star receivers, to me, maybe that works even better than if you have the 5-star quarterback and 3-star wide receivers.
See, I think it's 5-star running back and good enough quarterback and good enough receivers is what the offense would excel the best at. I think a running back is the guy that this offense says, "Hey, we're going to get you going on in space, and if you can make guys miss, you're going to run like crazy." The offense doesn't have a whole lot of, we're going to throw you a 6-yard curl wide receiver, and we want you to make 7 guys miss and a couple of the guys miss twice because you're super athletic like a Ryan Williams. That's not really what this offense does. This offense is run down the field wide open, catch it in stride, and keep running like Hyatt's not a guy. Hyatt's not a 5-star guy. Hyatt's a really fast straight line guy, but he's not a make you miss guy, which is why he's not working in the NFL. I don't think it needs it. I think it needs the elite running back. And Tony's been saying that.
Thank you, Rusty. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, though, with running backs. Every running back is productive in Josh Heupel's offense.
Yeah, but I'd love to see again. Did we sleep on Sampson? Is he going to be? Because if he's an elite player at the next, if he's starting already, Matt, I really underestimated him, didn't I? Underrated him, undervalued him. He just kind of just had an incredible season last year, and we just sort of cast him aside, didn't we? At least I did. You didn't, Matt. I did.
Well, I mean, he carried your offense. I mean, you win 7 or 8 games if he's not a workhorse, back that is SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Because the passing game certainly wasn't there. I mean, your defense was really good, and it complemented that running game well. But, I mean, he carried that team. That's why you look so bad against Ohio State. I mean, for a lot of reasons. But, I mean, you put an 8-4 team out there in the playoffs because Sampson basically didn't play that game.
He should have been in New York. He was woefully under, what's the word? Under-publicized something.
Not undervalued, I guess.
He didn't. Here's the thing in today's game, everything is about the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks put up huge numbers.
Right.
Their value has never been greater. Everything's built around a quarterback. They're asked to do so much, so naturally you're going to favor quarterbacks in voting for Heisman. I I thought Genty at Boise State was a great running back. And I thought Dylan Sampson, I probably liked him more than you did. I thought he was a really good running back. When you look at what he can do, he's got speed.
Oh, yeah.
And he proved he could break tackles going in. I thought of him initially when he played, and he was part of a 3-man rotation, I thought of him as more of a speed guy. But then as the more I watched him, I saw a guy that did everything well. He's got speed. He can break tackles, and he's also a good receiver. So
he had a really nice camp. I know that. I mean, he went up there and won the job, So let's go to the phones. It also helps that there's a guy holding out there as well. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hello, Tony.
Hey, Richard. Welcome in.
All right, man. Wonderful show. Outstanding topic. Yesterday was good too, Tony. I'm trying to get in. Maybe we'll talk a few minutes about y'all's conversation yesterday and about the game coming up this week. But first of all, I can't stress as much as what we talked about a couple of weeks ago about Tennessee and their system and how, again, what people are trying to speak out there that Tennessee's system is not made for the NFL and various things like that, and the players are flaming out. And like I told a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's been agreed here, our system has made guys rich in the NFL who were journeymen in college and was going nowhere, and all of a sudden they've all got paid in the NFL. And to me, that is our system providing the numbers and stuff to get you drafted, to get you there, to get you a paycheck. Whether you stick that long term or not, it doesn't matter, because here's one thing about the NFL. The NFL, for the majority of the players who play in it, other than a select few, is 3 years, Tony, 3-4 years, and they all flame out and they're all out of the league. I mean, it's not a longevity league for many players, and because of the difficulty of playing in that league and the physicality of it, and the truly elites make it. So I do contend I can't wait to see what our offense looks like when we do have legitimate NFL guys from the beginning progressing through our system. I contend that the wide receiver at Ohio State, when they take shots about our route trees or this or that, let me tell you something. That kid would come in immediately and he would score 8 touchdowns this year, double-digit touchdowns, and then he'd go to the NFL and he'll do the same thing. Elite players are elite players. It doesn't matter what system you put them in. They're going to shine forth when they get to the next level. That's what they do, because there's just, again, only so many of them out there at every position group, it doesn't matter, that are truly elite, and it doesn't matter where they play at.
The Joel Klatt thing, the Klatt thing is so silly, because he totally ignores the fact that RG3 was going to have a very good NFL career. I mean, he started very well. Now, he got hurt, and he was a runaround guy. And as a runaround guy in that league, you're not going to last. But he completely dismisses that. I don't understand. I don't understand why you just completely dismiss that.
No, the RG3 looked like Jaden Daniels reminds me of RG3, and I don't know how long Jaden Daniels can last the way he plays, but RG3 looked like he was going to be a star. It wasn't due to lack of talent or not being comfortable enough in a certain kind of offense. He could make throws. He could run them. He was a pure sprinter. And I think Jaden Daniels fits that mold too, where they get in the open field, like Lamar Jackson. They might turn a 10-yard play into a 70-yard play. So, yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah. So, I mean, so again, NFL is NFL. It is the most difficult league to play in when it comes to football. It is, again, not for long is what it stands for, because so many players do not stay in that league for very long, regardless of position they play, and especially quarterback, because, guys, we can go down the list of how many big-time quarterbacks that played big-time in college, and they failed in the pros. It just eats people up, and, and so, therefore, that's again, Klatt is just trying to, for whatever reason, axe his grind against Tennessee, various things, and And it's trying to like he's trying to defeat us on the recruiting trail or something, throwing this crap out there, and it's just ridiculous. So, but like I said, it's all good. Now, ball game coming up this week, Tony. You know, one thing you and Bino were talking about yesterday, you know, as you know, kind of comparison of Syracuse in this game, and of course, like you said, in this game, anything can happen in college football. Turnovers, various things like that can make a difference. But it was kind of talking about, where Heupel was his first couple of years, what he did, and how this Fran Brown's going into his second year, and he's a name-type coach now and hit it really well last year. But there's one difference, I think, when we look at Syracuse going into their second year and Heupel going into their second year, and it was called the NIL portal. Syracuse best players coming back for their second year all jumped for the money to bigger programs, whereas Heupel had Hooker come back, had the receivers, all these guys came back and played their second year, and this Syracuse coach lost all their best players, and I think they're starting 2 freshman cornerbacks. Tony, I expect if Tennessee takes care of the ball and just doesn't turn it over and make it easy, I think we win by 17 points.
Well, we're going to preview, and I thank you, Richard. We're going to preview Syracuse coming up here in a few. We'll get a few more calls in as well. 865-200-5402. The truth is this, you just don't know, but this Angeli guy is literally like a statue back there. And when you look at Tennessee's depth on their defensive line and the way should be able to, and should get after the quarterback in this game, my prediction for him, to quote the great Clubber Lang, is pain. As we take a brief timeout and continue with more after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners. I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Living Vol fan, we're on the countdown to kickoff, and that means you need to make sure you are game ready. Head to Alumni Hall to get this season's Tennessee sideline apparel. Nike, Columbia, Peter Millar, and more. Shop top brands for the entire family. Hats, Yeti, tailgating gear, and so much more. If it's for the Tennessee fan, Alumni Hall has it. Spend $150 and get $10 in Hall cash rewards. Shop at alumnihall.com. Download their app or shop any of their locations in Knoxville, Murfreesboro, or the Tri-Cities. Alumni Hall, the ultimate shopping destination for Vol fans.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean, no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's Konexial.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayapp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Tony B back with you as we welcome you back. Now joining on the program on the Newsmaker Hotline, presented by our friends at TLD Logistics, the TLD Logistics Hotline. Javon Edmonds joining. Cover Syracuse for Syracuse.com. Javon, welcome back to the show, my friend. Appreciate you making yourself available to us. It's game week, man. It's here. It's amazing, isn't it?
I sat here all Saturday. I watched pretty much every Week 0 game that was on national television, and now the real thing is here. I'm excited.
Yeah, I say let's go.
Yeah.
In my best Andy voice. As Javon Edmonds joining on the program, yeah, there's just something about this time of the year. It's just such a celebratory thing. And the other thing that you know after watching Week 0 is we have no idea what's going to happen week to week. We were talking during one of the breaks here about how UNLV just got their kingdom torn down on defense by a 1AA team that's supposed to have no players on the field that could play for them. Matt or Bri, do you guys know what the line was in that game, that UNLV game? Does anybody know? I
think it was like 28
or
something like that. It was
like
huge.
What was it, Javon?
It was like 28 and a half.
Yeah, there you go.
UNLV's they're minus 13 and a half against Sam Houston this week.
There you go. And so they're just going up and down the field, up and down the field, up and down the field. Javon, talk to me here. I had John Bryce on collegefootballscoop.com the other day, who lives in South Bend. And he knows about Steve Angeli. And his read on Steve Angeli is this is a guy that's got a good arm. This is a guy at Syracuse paid a pretty good amount of money to get there. This is a guy that can't move. Is that what you're hearing out of camp?
Steve Angeli is the guy that you're going to see in the pocket with command of the huddle, control of the offense, and can get the ball to his playmakers and let them operate. That is why Syracuse brought him in, and it's ultimately why he beat Ricky Collins Jr. for the starting job. And Jeff Nixon's offense is going to be tailored to Steve Angeli getting the ball to guys like Jonte Cook, Daryl Gill Jr., and Justice Ross Simmons and letting them go to work.
Javon, when it made the decision to bring in Angeli, it makes me wonder about Ricky Collins, who was a pretty good prospect out of high school and signed with LSU. Didn't get a chance there because he was behind elite talent. But if Syracuse was that, do you think that was a close competition, or do you think once Angeli came in here, it was pretty much game over?
It was a very close competition. I'll tell you what, the deciding factor, it just had a lot to do with the fact that Steve Angeli had about 70-plus more college football snaps than Ricky Collins. Steve Angeli has played 80. He's got 80 pass attempts, and Ricky's got 7, right? And there's an experience that comes with those 73 more dropbacks that you just can't simulate elsewhere. And that's ultimately what got Angeli the job. But that was a close competition. It went all the way down to the wire. And listen, Syracuse has been telling Ricky Collins, you are a play away. And in practice, Ricky Collins is still very much a part of the picture. You're still getting his snaps with the ones, getting his work in. Syracuse is in the business of Ricky Collins, developing him, and him being their guy of the future. But coming out of fall camp, it is Steve Angeli.
How reworked is that offense from last year? That's been the narrative. And how, as you talk to people, how do they feel about the reworked offense?
So I don't think much is going to change. I think Jeff Nixon's still going to want to get the ball downfield. I think he's still going to want to have something close to a 60-40 split in terms of passing versus rushing. McCourt was a pocket guy, and Jelly's a pocket guy. Trevor Pena was a versatile guy in the slot. Jonte Cook's a versatile guy in the slot. Daryl Gill got track speed outside. Justice Ross Simmons, just like Jackson Meeks, can go up and make a play. So I don't think much is going to change. I think the offensive line this year is going to be deeper. The only way I see Syracuse's offense changing significantly is if you send Willis, Will Nixon, or either, Jayden Hart, Malachi James, Malachi Coleman, whoever winds up being running back 3, really emerges as a guy who, touches 4 yards per carry. I mean, running was rough for Syracuse last year. LaQuint Allen's talent alone did a lot for the Orange. So I think the only way the offense changes is if the one of those running backs emerges and the offensive line really is better than last year's unit, and that allows Nixon to kind of hand the ball off a little more, get Angeli under center, and operate the play action. That's the only way I can see the operation really changing. But until then, I expect things to be similar.
Matt Dixon, jump in here as we are joined by Javon Edmonds, Syracuse.com, covering the Orange.
Yeah, just what do we expect with Syracuse defensively? Not as much turnover as the offensive side, but still kind of a pretty new unit. What do we think Syracuse will have in store for Tennessee? And does Fran Brown's experience being the defensive back coach at Georgia, has he mentioned that at all as being a help? Because that's the one defense that's had Heupel's offense figured out his entire time here at Tennessee.
Yeah, I asked Fran about that yesterday at his presser. And as you said, he is very familiar with the program. And his words were, hey, man, Tennessee is going to run what Tennessee is going to run. The Volunteers are not worried about what you come out there in. You have to be worried about what Tennessee comes out in. So he spent many a day game planning for Heupel in that offense, right? It's different for him this time around because at Georgia it was really just focusing on it from the set of the mindset of the DBs. Now he's focusing on the mindset of the head coaches of the whole team. But I think the way Tennessee likes to get up and down the field, and it makes for a good matchup from the standpoint of Syracuse has experience at safety, right? And Deuce Chestnut has been pretty good at free safety. Now, Deuce Chestnut or Devin Grant wind up getting the man covered for somebody. Then you got an issue. But at safety, that's a solidified unit. It's when you come down to the corners that you're like, now things get interesting, and Chris Brazell might have himself a 100-yard game because Demetrius Samuel is a true freshman. Chris Peel's a sophomore. Davian Curran, the nickel, is a sophomore. So they're young. They're going to get tested. Those three are going to have some real high highs, and then they're going to have some lows also. So if this game's going to be a measuring stick to see just how productive Tennessee's passing game can be with a transfer in Joey Aguilar coming up from Sun Belt competition to SEC competition, and some younger receivers that are, being looked at to step up this year. It's going to be a real litmus test for both teams. It'll be exciting. I anticipate a lot of people around the country will be switching back and forth between that big noon game and that game on ABC.
Hey, some people like me that have YouTube TV, I might not have a choice.
Multi-views, beautiful.
Well, no, we're locked out right now. They're taking Fox away from us beginning tomorrow.
Got the Fox, it's a Wednesday deadline.
Wednesday. Yeah, now you're talking. So Javon's dialed into all that and a bag of chips as he joins us. Javon Edmonds on the program. Hey, when we look at the Syracuse bunch, the ultimate question becomes: both these teams are introducing new quarterbacks. You were talking about their coordinator there, and they're going to do what they're going to do. Boy, they really had it going at the end of last year. That win over Miami was extremely impressive. The way they finished the season at Syracuse, nobody wanted to play that bunch at the end of the year. But it kind of took them a while, to sort of grow into the season. And so the question becomes, do they try to go super duper fast in this game, or do you think they dial back the tempo? Because, look, I can see a scenario where Tennessee with that great defensive line and Angeli with his inability to move, where Tennessee kind of swallows him. Do they try and protect against that, or do you think they just run their stuff?
So, what you said about Tennessee's defensive line is ultimately what made me believe Ricky Collins was going to win that starting job, because everything pointed to Angeli, right? Experience, is known the Campanelli family for so long. He's a Jersey guy, just like Fran Brown, so many guys on the staff. All signs pointed to him. But I looked at Syracuse's schedule, and I looked at defenses like Tennessee, and I looked at defenses like Clemson, and I looked at defenses like Duke, and what Miami might have, and what Marcus Freeman's going to have at Notre Dame. And I said to myself, they're going to want somebody who can move and use his legs to get him out of a jam. That's why I thought Ricky Collins was going to be the guy. But now with Angeli, I think no huddle is going to have to be the route to kind of help the offensive line out a little bit and wear that pass rush of Tennessee down. And Jeff Nixon, if you ever get the chance to go up to a Syracuse practice, he is so intent on the detail. And when they go no huddle, they mean it. I mean, they always are demanding their players to go faster, right? And still keep the sharpness and attention to detail. So it's something they have definitely been working on. I would not be shocked if you see that come out, especially if Tennessee goes up early. But I think that's going to have to be the game plan for Saturday. Expect the Orange to go fast.
How about that? I will say this about Angeli. He can flip it around. I mean, he was pretty damn good in that series last year in the playoffs against Penn State, where really that was a big deal in that game. I mean, they lose their quarterback, and he comes in and not only performed admirably, but scored a touchdown. Matt Dixon, jump back in here as we're visiting with Javon Edmonds on this glorious John Adams Tuesday.
Yeah, just one more for me, and it's kind of a big picture thing with Fran Brown. But one of my notes that I wrote while watching Syracuse last year was that he was always talking with different assistants or support staff people every time they showed him on the sidelines. Is he that hands-on with everything within the program, or is that something that maybe he doesn't have enough people he trusts kind of on his coaching staff or in support staff roles to where he feels comfortable delegating some of that stuff out?
I'll tell you this, Fran Brown does not hire anyone that he does not trust. He goes way back with Jeff Nixon. He and Elijah Robinson have the same godfather. He goes way back with Nunzio Campanelli. He goes way back with Aaron Benici. That guy, no one on his staff is someone that he doesn't trust. So, no, he really is that hand-on. When they go into individual and position group drills in practice, he is with the cornerbacks, and defensive backs coach Joe Schaefer is with the safeties, right? When they go special teams and the offense goes inside, Fran Brown is very hands-on with the special teams. He is a hands-on guy, and he tries to create that environment for the rest of his team. 116 players on the roster, and he expects all 116 to know about the other 115, right? So that's just who he is, and he's been that way for a long time. I mean, this is the guy who was a quarterbacks coach, who was the reason for schools, drafting NFL defensive linemen and wide receivers, right? So he is a very hands-on person.
Javon, you're kind of the man. I appreciate you. Incredible talking with you. If folks want to follow your work, read along, and score at home moving left to right across their device, how do they find you, my friend?
Yeah, you can search up my author page on Syracuse.com, or you can find me on all social media at Javon Evans 45, mostly on Twitter, well, X now. So Javon Evans 45, and you can search up my author page at Syracuse.com.
Was 45 your number, or are there 45 Javon Evanses out there?
No, 45 was when I was a right fielder in Little League Baseball. That number just stuck with me.
Let's go, my friend. The beautiful game. Let's go, my friend. Thank you. Great talking to you, Javon.
Absolutely. Hey, let's have a game Saturday, man. I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. John, from a Syracuse perspective, you've seen a bunch of these openers around here. Do you believe that Syracuse should be excited about this game, John?
Well, I think you should always be excited about a new season. I'm not so sure Syracuse should be that enthusiastic or optimistic about this matchup. As Javon pointed out, they did lose a lot of offense. And as you pointed out, Steve Angeli is not a guy that's a quarterback who will beat you with his legs. I like having dual threat quarterbacks against Tennessee's defense. I think they're gonna come after this guy, and I think we'll probably be seeing Ricky Collins in this game.
Yeah. Bryce told me on Friday he predicted that this guy's going to throw the ball up. Tennessee will force at least 2 interceptions, John Bryce believes. He said this guy, you just got to see it to believe it. He said the reason that he didn't win the job at Notre Dame is in a practice this year in a 3-way rotation in the spring. He got sacked 4 times while they were rotating 3 quarterbacks. He said this guy just cannot move. And they wanted him to have the job because he has the experience. You know, all these coaches want to go with the safe choice. Because, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Notre Dame go way deep into camp before they decided who won the job? They went like way deep into camp with 2 inexperienced guys, right?
It was after, like a week after Tennessee did. Yeah, they went pretty deep into it, yeah.
So the point is they moved off of him, called him into the office and said, hey, look, somebody's going to be the quarterback here in the fall, but it ain't going to be you. So
you think that's how they worded it,
well,
Tony? Hey,
maybe something a little more tactful than that.
Thanks for playing, Steve.
Bino yesterday was a fraidy cat on here. I mean, I came on and said, look, I set Bino up, threw him a 25-mile-an-hour, straight down the pike, and he, oh, no, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, what don't you know?
Does Bino talk that way?
Well, listen, you got a white turkey, no offense to him, an Italian. Let me tell you something about Italian.
White turkey?
Let me tell you something about Italian people.
White?
Yeah, and they're going to stuff him. Do you like the stuffing? Are you a stuffing guy?
No.
They're going to stuff him.
I don't like turkey.
Well, he's white meat, and he gonna get run over on Saturday. Matt, do you ascribe to what I'm saying?
That would be my way of thinking. Yeah, I just kind of like that NC State game last year, and the Virginia game, I guess 2 years ago. I think Tennessee's defensive front just totally overwhelms Syracuse's offensive line, and it'll be very difficult for them to do a whole lot offensively.
You talk about he has the secret sauce for being at Georgia, but he doesn't have those players, which he's going to need.
That's exactly right, Brian. That is so well put.
There's not anybody on Syracuse's defense that would be in Georgia's 3 deep.
Whoa. So, Tony, I think it's your job to prepare your listeners,
right?
Because since we're building this up as a mismatch, basically, then prepare the listeners not to get overly optimistic as a result of this outcome. Because this team is not nearly as good as it was last year, and it doesn't match up well with Tennessee. So
Syracuse,
we could get a false read on this.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think you can draw conclusions from anything in these first weeks. I think you've got to let the season. You need a good 3 or 4 weeks before you know what you have. And you know what's a great case in point of that? Last year, after 1 week, after 2 weeks, Urban Meyer was quoted as saying, I called my friends and said, you got to turn this Tennessee game on about Nico. We thought we had Michael Vick last year. You got to let the season and the point spreads, the power ratings, the way the people in Vegas do things. In talking to, like I was talking to C about this on Thursday, there were teams, John, that got power rated down 15, 16, 17, 18 points 3 weeks into the season. Because those people out there that have the big buildings, they're not here for our health, and they're not here to fire people up, focus them, and prepare them. They're here to take your money. And they're not going to give away free money. But in the beginning of the year, who the heck knows? I mean, maybe this Aguilar guy can't play at all. I don't know. Maybe the Angeli guy hits a couple passes. You know, Matt, I go back to that. You guys were talking about the quarterback with the pugnacious father from Kansas State who Tennessee got involved with. And I say the family that fights together. That's my saying. Like the family that prays together stays together. The family that fights together in public like that, imagine what they're like behind closed doors. And I'm for it, by the way, because a family that fights together fights together. But a couple of the busts in that game, John, that Iowa State committed were just egregious. And those are opening weeks of the season kind of things that you see in college ball. It's what makes the sport so great. A safety gets caught looking in as a corner releases him. I could have made that throw, John. The guy's so wide open.
Not with your back injury.
Well, that's a good point.
I don't know if you can make it when fully healthy.
And so I guess we don't know. The point I'm trying to make is we think we know Saturday. It looks like Tennessee's going to run them over. But what happens if we have a few busts on defense and Angeli gets a little time and all of a sudden they start moving the ball and they grow into the game? And, you know, I'm open to any possibility here.
Let's go back to the Penn State game when he came in.
Yeah.
Obviously, Penn State didn't prepare to face Steve Angeli.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State had a really nice defensive front, really, really strong pass rush. He wasn't in there long enough, I don't think, where you could really draw a bead on him and see what he's doing. He got to his credit, he got rid of the ball quickly. He didn't waste a lot of time back there. But I think there's a real good chance. I wouldn't put odds on it because I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I wouldn't be surprised if he failed to last the game.
Well, Matt, you said it. It does feel like that NC State game. And the truth is, and I don't mean this in a haughty SEC kind of way, the way it's going to sound, but that is the difference between playing in this league and playing in the ACC. In the ACC, you'll see a defensive line like Tennessee's, John, how many times in that league? Who has a defensive line, John, that would be commensurate with this one?
You could see a couple. You could see it a couple of times a year.
Clemson. Who else, Matt?
Miami's is pretty good.
Yeah.
Florida State can be really good at times. I mean,
Yeah.
LSU
Pittsburgh usually has a really good defensive line, even though they're probably not rated very high recruiting wise. But Pitt's always pretty tough. But no, it's besides Clemson, you might see it one other time in the ACC.
That's Virginia Tech maybe years ago.
Tennessee's defensive line is going to, and that's a good point, Bri. Virginia Tech, when they had it going, yeah. Virginia Tech has this real interesting opener with South Carolina. I wonder if Beamer Jr. one day goes back home.
No.
You You think Virginia Tech, you think there's a place for them in major college football?
It just depends on NIL. I don't know what their NIL situation is.
Well, they got Barney Boy up there, who's got his own distillery. So surely, I mean, what do you think, Matt? You think Barney Boy's distillery, think he could help Virginia Tech?
It certainly couldn't hurt.
That'll get back to Barney Boy.
That's a program that, I mean, what Frank Beamer did just totally overachieved there for, about 2 decades. And now they're kind of back to reality. It's not a terrible recruiting area, but like John said, I don't know what their NIL stuff is. I assume it's not very good.
At
least compared to upper echelon type teams.
John, is Shane Beamer better than you thought he was?
Yes, because I thought he would be a joke.
Matt, is he better than you thought he was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot better. He recruits really well for down there. And, I mean, say what you want about him, but his teams get better throughout the season every year.
Yes,
and
they do.
That's a good sign of a really well-coached, program when you're always getting better. They're always better the last half of the season than the first half.
I think with him, too, he relates really well to players. Players seem to respond to him.
That Netflix thing is so illuminating because Josh Heupel on that Netflix thing they have on the SEC is Josh Heupel. He's about as flat as you can be. I mean, I love the guy, but the thing about Heupel, though, is the kids love him and respect him. You don't have to entertain me. It's like John's talking about. You don't have to entertain me at a press conference. If your players believe that what you're telling them is true and is going to make them better, you'll be effective at what you do. If your players believe that you're a fraud like Butch Jones, they will tune you out. They will sit there and snicker at you. They will text stuff to me, which is what went on back in the day, laughing at you. they will share anecdotes of people like me, so they appear in my blog, and I get none of that. Okay, with this guy, we get none of those leaks with this guy. I say wait, but I'm just telling you because Heupel might be the worst. He might be at press conferences. Okay, he might be the worst guy I've ever seen in my life. Him and the guy that looked like Steve Martin that coached at Vanderbilt back in the day. What was the Steve Martin looking guy that coached at Vandy? Let's get
Bobby
small.
Johnson.
Bobby Johnson.
Right?
Johnson.
Oh, I didn't think he was even the worst.
Who else, Brian?
You could have some guy who mispronounces words and butchers the English language and talks about war daddies and stuff and falling on helmets.
Are you referring to anybody?
No, the guy that fell on a helmet, that was Butch Jones' era.
Yeah,
right?
Shy Tuttle. Tuttle.
He got released today, I saw.
Did he really?
I hope he was able to.
He's been in the NFL for what, like 8 years or so?
I hope he maintained his balance when he got the news.
Ty Shuttle. Yeah, and you know what? His body did not cooperate when he was here. And for him to stick around in the NFL that long shows a lot of testicular fortitude from him. Listen, here's the thing. College football is upon us. It is here. It is in your face. It is so next level. It is so fun. I can't believe it. My friends at VIP Play want to remind you that direct deposit via debit card. Apple Pay now available for you as we hit the ground running with college football 2025. A celebration for the ages is being had over at VIP Play, and that's why you need to go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. First bet, $5 or more. You get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code to kick is TN Tony. Again, TN Tony. You can get action on all the Tennessee games, including the Syracuse game. And if you could prop bet on a game like this, I would put the number of sacks in the first half, John, at what would we install the number at? First half sacks for the Vols.
He gets rid of the ball quickly. I think Tennessee will control the clock, running the ball. First half sacks, I'll say over and under is set at 2.5.
Woo! He gonna feel the pain. But you won't, because my friends at VIP Play are live always. 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options, they've got it. And with the NFL getting ready to line up and get ready to go, you're going to get a world-class betting experience at VIP Play. So check out the VIP Play app. Check them out at VIPplay.com, 800-889. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, and located in the state of Tennessee to bet with VIP Play. Let's go back to the phones where we get our next call in. Hello and welcome in on our TLD Logistics phone lines. W. Lynn, welcome in.
How are my friends compatriots doing today?
What's up, W. Lynn?
We're doing great.
Always great to hear from you.
This Nico thing being a victim's got me all keyed up. He's a victim, all right. He's a victim to Papa Neek. That's who he's a victim to.
Victim of
Papa
what?
Neek and the entourage.
Papa Neek.
What's a Neek?
It's short for Nico.
Papa Neek.
Wow, you took the breath right out of me.
You stunned, Tony.
Wow, you really did.
He
took the breath away from me.
That was.
But yeah, if he's a victim, that's who he's a victim to, not University of Tennessee.
Well, he's a victim. That's what Joel Klatt said. He's a victim. You know, Tennessee has shaped the narrative here, so Joel Klatt's going to shape the narrative back. W. Lynn.
Where is that guy from?
He played ball at Colorado. Pretty good quarterback, right, John, in his day? Was he a quarterback? Let me look that up.
Yeah, he was a quarterback. He tried to make it with an NFL team, didn't succeed.
I wonder where he's from. Is he a Southerner, a Yankee, a Midwesterner?
Let's look him up, W. Lynn, so you can hate on him.
Yeah, he's probably. I
bet he's from California, because that's back in the day when they had the California pipeline.
I don't think he's a Southerner.
Look whose photo they brought up online for Joel Klatt. Who's that a photo of, John? Brian Kelly. It says Joel Klatt and it has a photo of Brian Kelly up there. Okay, so Joel Klatt is married to Sarah Ordway. He's a college football analyst. He played football at Colorado, 3-year starter at Colorado after Cordell Stewart. He also played minor league baseball. He's from Arvada, Colorado, W. Lynn. Do you know where Arvada, Colorado is?
I have no idea where it is.
I don't know where Arvada, Colorado is either.
So is he a Yankee, W. Lynn, if he's from Arvada, Colorado?
He's a Midwesterner.
Oh.
Well, I would call him a
Rocky Mountain High guy.
He's a Rocky Mountain High guy.
He looks like he looks like he's had a left-handed cigarette or two looking at him.
I doubt he was in any rodeos in that area.
I don't know. He's a big, strong, strapping athlete.
But I tell you what, this Nico thing, I guess here in Tennessee, everybody's going to be watching that UCLA-Utah game. What time does that thing come on? About 10 o'clock at night?
11 Eastern. It's part of this new basically what they're doing is they're trying to do the package ESPN used to do, and they have like a late-night package right there on Big Fox. Big Fox is running that game.
So what is this you said earlier about there's a problem with us getting Fox?
Yeah, if you have YouTube. I'm a YouTube TV subscriber. And they're at an impasse right now. All the Fox channels, FX1, the News Channel, the FS2, the Fox, Big Fox. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Do you want to come over to my house and watch that game?
No, I'll have it on here, down here. I'll have it on streameast.app. I watch whatever I want to watch. Pay reviews.
It's funny how they have these controversies right before football season every year. It was ABC when we were getting ready to watch Virginia on ABC a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I mean, that's not an accident, believe me.
That would have been horrible to have missed a minute of that game.
Wow.
Boy,
at least the stadium was full.
There was ESPN last year that I lost it for a couple weeks.
Say? Poor Virginia. But now, Bri, now that you know the trick, streameast.app, You just get some Chinese malware on your phone. They spy on me every day.
I just typed in the games on YouTube, and they had a live ESPN feed of it that I watched.
There you go. That's another thing.
And I didn't miss any of it.
You got a lot of Chinese streamers that get on YouTube. I love it, man.
I don't understand Chinese streamers, Fox and YouTube, and how that all. I don't get the connection. What do the Chinese streamers have to do with any of this?
If you stream Chinese, John, they're reading all your emails. Yeah. They're into your bank account and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. I got no secrets, man.
I got no bank account to speak of.
Well, there you have it. There you have it.
Going back to Syracuse here a little bit, little history here. One of the greatest college football movies of all time that everybody should see is a movie called The Express. It's the Ernie Davis story.
John,
have y'all seen that?
John, have you seen The Express?
Yes.
You concur with him? It's a great movie.
I didn't remember it.
Well, it's about basically Ernie Davis coming to school and their undefeated national championship season.
Great team. That was a great team.
Yeah, and it shows how when they went to West Virginia and then to Texas, the racism that was present at that day. And, of course, it then goes into him being the first black player to win the Heisman. And then he got leukemia when people didn't really know what leukemia was.
Wow. Well, it's a tragic story. I think he would have been a tremendous NFL running back. And W. Lynn, knowing college football history as well as you do, you know that Syracuse running backs can compete with any schools. When you could throw Jim Brown out there, Ernie Davis, Floyd Little, Larry Zonka.
Enough said. I thought that damn Rob Conrad guy in '98 was pretty good.
Yeah, and Paul Pasqualoni didn't have enough sense to run the ball on a 3rd and 2 inside the 5.
Paul passed the baloney.
Oh, my gosh.
I love him.
You got Donovan McNabb. Tennessee didn't stop him all during the second half.
Donovan McSad.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think they won the Big East that year or something because they lost to Florida in the Orange Bowl.
I'll tell you what, too, Syracuse always has, they always have a good flash player on their team. I remember the year Dwight Freeney came in the Knoxville several years later, 4 or 5 years later, early 2000s. Matt, do you remember how quick Dwight Freeney was off the edge of Neyland Stadium? He would put on his own show in that game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, 2001.
2001.
He was the fastest guy I ever saw in college off the line.
I mean, I was like, how do you block this guy? He was unbelievable.
They opened the season before Tennessee did, and I covered the Georgia Tech Syracuse game.
I can't imagine what that looked like.
And he was, I mean, I can't remember too many defensive ends that have stood out the way he did. And he carried it into the pros.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Another classic moment with Syracuse is
will not be deterred.
I think at the end of the game, Auburn in about 87 or 88, the game was tied, and it was 4th and 10 or 20 from the Syracuse 25, and Auburn kicked a field goal to tie the game. That's what it was.
Yep.
And they went 11-0-1, and their fans were mad and sent Pat Dye a bunch of ties, but I don't see in that circumstance, would you have thrown into the end zone?
No.
From the 25-yard line on the last play of the game?
And that W. Lynn is right there, and I appreciate the call. Thank you. That's why I missed the tie. The tie was a fun talking point when it existed in the sport of college football.
Did you? I bet you railed against the tie and you said that.
No. I love ties.
You love ties.
Yeah,
those ties Tennessee had, some of them felt like losses. When they had leads and they ended up tying the game, and they felt exactly like a loss because I know this thing they didn't win.
They tie in 90.
They tied Colorado, they tied Auburn, and they tied
Did they have 3 ties?
No, 2 ties.
2 ties.
Alabama 3 years later.
And then it felt like there was a game late in the year. I think it was that Notre Dame game, which could have been a tie. And I was thinking, please, just somebody win the game. Oh, no, it was the 90 Alabama game because we were lining up for a field goal. That was about to be the 3rd tie of the year. That's what it was.
That was
bizarre.
That was a really good Tennessee team that easily could have competed for could have won the national title.
No doubt. Year. They were loaded with players.
Not quite enough defense.
Nope. The thing that Fulmer did from the Fulmer era to the Majors era is Fulmer went out and got defensive tackles. And he said, this is it. We're going to control if I could put one line of demarcation in there between the two. And Majors
he beefed up the defensive line is what he did.
Yeah, he did.
Because they weren't big enough.
That's right.
They were like small, quick guys before.
The Majors era defensive tackles were workman-like guys and nothing to sneeze at. The Fulmer era guys, he threw some monsters out there at defensive tackle. We take a brief time, come back with more on the other side, and get some more calls in on a John Adams Tuesday presented by the great Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com as we continue with more after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at
TLDlogistics.com.
Next week is your last chance to see your Knoxville Smokies in action this season.
No way.
Join us for our final all-you-can-eat Wednesday. Less than $30 gets you into the game and all the food your stomach can handle. We also have Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers, fireworks Friday and Saturday nights, and Fan Appreciation Day on Sunday with free prizes given out during the game. It's your last chance, so get those tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Although summer is almost over, the last thing you want during sweltering heat is a broken air conditioner or HVAC system. That means it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe during extreme East Tennessee weather. Don't ignore the warning signs that your AC is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to Budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to Budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here reminding you that when you want to sell your extra tickets to the game, you don't want to give your life away online with all your personal information just because you want to sell a few extra tickets. Clark Moore at Select Ticket Service will gladly buy your extra game tickets and your extra parking passes. And the best part? Clarky Boy pays cash. 865-919-1016. 865-919-1016. Clarky Boy pays cash at Select Ticket Service. Clarky Boy pays cash. Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for Advent.
Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. TB back with you, 865-200-5402. As we welcome you back on a John Adams Tuesday, it's a great day to be here with you. We are going to do some TLD logistics overdrive overtime. The deal is with me is that my back's not back, and when my back's not back, what I mean by that is people that have been through this know, because I've had people reach out, kind of be encouraging or whatever that have been through this or know people who have. This thing, it's hard to sleep with when you get the nerve pain going. And so I'm going to do some TLD logistics overdrive overtime. I can't wear myself out though. So, because we got a 6-day week here and got a big show on Saturday after the game and all that good stuff. So, but it is fun.
I applaud your courage. I think this has been a courageous effort on your part.
God.
No, I mean that.
Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Parker. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Parker. Are you fired up, focused, and prepared right now from your perch?
Yeah, I am. It's a beautiful 75-degree Morristown today. Going back to the office after lunch. And this I actually took my dad out. His birthday's coming up on Thursday, so it's a good day, man.
Well, happy birthday to your pop. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually going to the game. He's never been to the Bins, and I was telling him about the incredible food prices. I went in 2017 when we played Georgia Tech and almost lost, by the way. But anyway, a win is a win. I think I paid like $10, Tony, for chicken tenders, fries, popcorn, and a Coke. And the Coke's refillable for any of those fans going out there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What Arthur Blank has done there is all events in that place. It's almost like the pricing that you have at the Masters. It is the most affordable place. Stay right there, Parker. I want to hear your phone call. It's the most affordable place in all of Major League Sports this side of the Masters, the Mercedes-Benz Dome, which is pretty cool. They give you refillable Cokes. They don't take advantage of you. They don't pillage you. Kind of like what Danny White does with the fan base at Neyland Stadium. To the living listener, I love you. I thank you. We appreciate you. We are going to do a TLD Logistics overtime. Like a refillable and Oh, sorry.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Right, Parker? You can refill them at Tennessee, right, Parker?
It's TLD
Yeah,
Logistics.
you can refill.
Yeah, you get free refills, right? You walk up there and say free refill. How's that going to go,
TLD
Parker?
Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
They'll charge you an arm and a leg. And it'll go to Danny White.
And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Hey, Matt, what do you think Danny thinks when he goes down to the Mercedes-Benz Dome and sees all the food they're giving away in there? What do you think's gone through his alleged mind, Matt?
Well, he's not going to be in the concourse. He'll be in a club level where it's always free.
That's pretty well put. So, Parker, your pop's going, huh? Talk to me here.
Yeah. No, he is. No, I'm excited about the game. I will get to that in a minute. I just wanted to address the Joel Klatt article.
Yeah.
And I like Joel Klatt. I think he's great with Gus Johnson. He's witty. He's insightful, during the broadcast. But, man, that is just pure clickbait that he put out there. He literally said that Heupel's and Art Briles' offense don't produce NFL quarterbacks, yet RG3 won the Heisman and played several seasons before a career-ending injury. It's just so disingenuous.
Not only that, but the kid that played at Missouri played several years in the NFL. The kid that started out with Central Florida, who just finished at Oregon.
He's still in the NFL, I think.
The kid that just finished at Oregon had a very promising training camp. I mean, none of that makes any sense. I'm sorry. None of that makes any sense.
Well, I read his comments, too, and he talked about, well, it's too simplified. The reads are just this and that and simplified. Well, you know who else simplified the game is Heupel's mentor, Mike Leach. The air raid is all over the NFL. Have you looked at the Kansas City Chiefs?
What do you think, John? I do think that remnants of these college offenses have mutated into the NFL. I do think that's a thing.
Yeah, and the NFL has finally realized it used to be that the NFL, it had a prototypical quarterback, and it would not vary. If you didn't fit that prototype, the NFL wasn't interested. Look at all the guys that have come into the league. Kyler Murray, I mean, he's about as prototypical as you could get. A guy with just incredible quickness who just makes plays all over the field. But there are guys like that. We're saying Cam Ward is not the old prototypical. I mean, there are all kinds of guys doing this so you can get to the NFL. It doesn't matter what system. If you got that kind of ability, you can get it, and you get it the right system. I think it's so important. Quarterbacks have to match up with the right franchise and right offensive system.
The Tagovailoa guy's another one down there at Miami. You wouldn't have thought. I mean, back in the day, a guy like that's not. A little guy like that, he ain't playing
Well,
football.
You talked about Jalen Hurts. Earlier, he's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's nothing like. Look at Lamar Jackson. This guy.
That's exactly right.
Those
are all college quarterbacks. They're dynamic college players is what they are. You're right.
Yeah, but they can't stop Lamar Jackson.
No, you're right.
And look at Josh Allen. I mean, what kind of offense was he when he was at Wyoming? Josh Allen was under siege the entire time. He didn't play with great talent around him.
Hey, Matt, doesn't Heupel get credit for Dylan Gabriel? I mean, if you're going to rip and take away credit, or however you want to put this, and say they don't produce players, doesn't he get some credit for him, Matt?
Yeah, he coached him for 2 years or so.
Okay, well,
obviously he went on to play at Oklahoma and then in Oregon, which are probably more pro style stuff. But no, it's he gets credit for that. Like Brian said, Drew Lock's still collecting the check in the NFL as a backup. I mean, Joe Milton's the Cowboys' backup, probably going to start a handful of games this year when Prescott gets hurt. So it puts guys in the NFL. It might not prepare them for the NFL, and it makes their learning curve a lot higher. But, I mean, Hendon Hooker wasn't sniffing the NFL before Heupel's offense, and he got ran out of Virginia Tech.
No, he would be literally in the spring league right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's what he'd be doing. But that's what he'd be doing.
Well, he wasn't going to play at Michigan. He had
you're talking about Milton. I'm talking about Hooker.
Oh no, but
Hooker
I agree
would
with
never
both.
Play in the NFL.
No, but Joe Milton would not. He was losing out at Michigan. He got his shot as a freshman, didn't pan out, and he would have never started at Michigan.
You're exactly right.
You ready for my fun college fact? The quarterback that overtook him at Michigan, Cade McNamara, is actually at ETSU now, and Tennessee will see him next week.
That is right, Matt.
What?
Plays Joe Milton during the COVID year at Michigan as their starter is at ETSU now.
Wow.
And I think
playing
there's
like
another
the 8th
transfer
year.
that went to ETSU, Matt. I think there's another D1 quarterback, and they have
Jacoby, I think it's Criswell, who was at North Carolina. Yeah, ETSU went out and got 2 former Power 5 QBs in the portal.
Didn't Cade McNamara, did he go to Iowa?
Yeah.
He went to Iowa for a year.
Yeah, he went to Iowa.
That was the year they couldn't get the ball over midfield. Do you remember that?
I'm not kidding. There's been more than one year like that.
I'm kind of not kidding.
Well, Tony, before I got 2 things. I'll tell you the second thing, and I'll ask the first thing. But the first thing's about Saturday. I think it's going to be closer than probably I'm comfortable with. I know the line's 2 scores. It's so hard to judge any kind of first week action like this, as you all know, especially with unproven quarterback and everything. So I just want to kind of get your take on that. Do you think Tennessee's going to cover, or does Syracuse cover?
No idea.
And the second thing is,
I'm with you. Listen, before you get your second point.
Okay.
John and I were talking off the air, and we kind of go around the room here. This game could go any of a myriad of ways. I don't know how Tennessee loses this game, but I guess if your quarterback plays bad enough and you turn it over enough, or you make enough like physical mistakes, you could lose this game. But as for the spread, I mean, it could end up being a close game because who knows what you have on offense when you're the Vols.
Well,
like last year,
Bryce said that this guy will take us apart if he gets time, but
that's right. He's not going to get time.
Going to come right at him, so they're going to have to do some chess match there.
Yeah, he's not going to get time. Banks is going to do to him what they did to NC State, like Matt said. They're going to be blitzing. They're going to be coming. They're not going to give this guy a chance. This guy won't know his name by the time the first quarter is over.
So basically, the only way that they stay in it is if this Aguilar guy throws interceptions like he did at State last year.
And he could.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think Syracuse won 10 games last year, and won mainly because of its offense. It lost all that offense. And maybe Fran Brown's a really good offensive coach, and he's got a nice system there. But I still think Syracuse did not have a great defense last year. I think Tennessee will come out and run the ball on them. I think it'll throw to the tight ends. I don't think it's going to be a game where Joey Aguilar is throwing 38 passes. I think it'll be more of a run-oriented game. I mean, I think that's to me is one of the better lines. I think Tennessee given 13.5, and I don't think I've ever been wrong about lines. I'm usually right on the money with them. Remember that?
John, you need to be a bookmaker.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and said it on Tony's show. That bowl game.
I had so many people that Purdue game.
Purdue, yeah.
People texting me, like literally cussing at me, and I'm like, I didn't say it.
I mean, there's people that are still homeless because they took John's advice that day.
I mean,
I think I said and I don't normally encourage gambling. If you have a problem, there's an 800 number to call.
You said bet your house on this.
Yeah, I really did, and I meant it at the time.
To get blown out by Purdue was an accomplishment.
What is that guy doing now?
They went to overtime. They didn't get blown out.
Aiden O'Connell.
He's a backup
playing in the NFL. He plays for the Raiders.
I know. He's
a nice player.
Okay. See?
Karlaftis plays for the Chiefs. Defensive guy.
There you go.
Well, Tony, the last thing, I have a way for Tennessee to get even more money out of their fans.
All right.
You all know, Tony, I think you know I'm a big tennis fan, tennis player. The U.S. Open's this week. I don't know if y'all been watching any of it.
Incredible. I've loved every minute of it. Did you see the photographer walk onto the court and Medvedev melt down, how great that was?
He's had a terrible year, by the way. I think he's made it to the second round at most of all the majors. But
and he blamed that whole deal as if, dude, you've had your whole season. You just repeated.
No, listen, I think tennis is kind of like wrestling. They need a hill. Like, we need hills.
Mm-hmm.
We need villains like that. But anyway, at the U.S. Open, if anybody doesn't know, they sell a $25 cocktail called the Honey Deuce. Are y'all familiar with that?
No, lay it on me.
I don't know. I've never been to the U.S. Open. I want to go, and nor do I drink alcohol. But it is crazy amount of sales. Tony, they did $12 million of sales of that one cocktail last year. That's how much revenue it generated from that sell.
What's it called? What's it called again?
What's the drink called?
The Honey Deuce. Like, get it like deuce, like 40 all deuce. So it's kind of a play on words. So I guess my question is, Tennessee, man, we're missing out. We're charging 10% talent fee, 4% whatever. Adidas, all of this. We're charging arm and leg. So I wonder what kind of beverage, adult or it doesn't even have to be adult, that Tennessee, play on words that they can offer and charge fans $25.
So you could drink your way to a national championship.
Exactly. I kind of like that. Back to the phones we go.
Was we interrupted? But was that Titans Bill's phone that just?
No, that was me just being slow on the draw. But great call there from a man in Motown. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air on our TLD Logistics Overtime.
No, John, this is Titans Bill right now.
Hey, Billy.
How you doing? How you doing, Tony? Get well, buddy. That's all I'm going to ask you. Get well.
We're hanging in, Billy. Every day's a blessing, brother.
Bill, he has really fought through pain, and he's done it. No, Tony, you can't take a compliment. A lot of people would not have done their job with what Tony's gone through.
Oh, John.
But
it's sort of like this. He's playing hurt.
It's more than that.
It's more than that. Okay. I just cannot see us losing to Syracuse. Here's what I think is going to happen. I believe if we can go in there with guns a-blazing.
Well, let's still promote violence.
Which I believe we will, and also we also need to do one thing. They need to pull a Larry the Cable Guy, meaning go in there and get her done.
Larry the Cable Guy.
That's the fact with my hand up.
Can you imitate Larry the Cable Guy for me, and how would he say it?
Get her done.
Get her done. You know who's getting it? You know who's getting it done right now? Is Tennessee soccer. That Tennessee soccer team went to Loyola Marymount, and I mean they conquered, brah, 3-0. I was watching the Marymount telecast on Sunday, and they kept saying when it was 2-0, next goal we get back in this one, and the Lady Vols they smothered and covered them. Where do you get that? The smothered and covered, Bill? What am I thinking of here?
I have no clue, my friend.
That's Waffle House.
Waffle House. Bill, what do you get at the Waffle House? Bino said, or Steve from Lexington called us yesterday and said he gets pancakes there, Matt. Did you hear that?
I did. That kind of came out of left field.
Titans Bill, you said Tennessee needs to go in there with guns a-blazing. Is there a firearm you would recommend?
Just a cannon.
There you go. In honor of W. Lynn and K.A.
Yeah, just a huge side World War, Civil War type cannon.
There you go. By the way, somebody mentioned that's not the last time we played in that dome, is it? When's the last time we played in the Mercedes-Benz Dome?
Probably the Georgia Tech game.
Butch Jones.
I think it was only the second college game played in that venue. It just opened.
Okay. So that would have been
2017, Butch's last season.
Wait, hasn't Tennessee played there since?
Yeah, I don't think so. Thinking out loud. I think the Georgia Tech game next year might be there, though. Is that 26 or 27, Matt?
26.
Yeah, I think the Georgia Tech game's going to be there.
That will be a tougher opener That'll be the
no
toughest
doubt.
opener that Josh Heupel's had here.
I love that guy. That guy there does a hell of a job. That's a perfect coach for Georgia Tech. Got a really good staff, too.
Titans Bill, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Just checking. Do you have anything else to add?
Even if the Titans do get Hendon Hooker, he's going to do the same thing like he did when he was in Detroit. He's going to ride the bench, because I was very much impressed with Cam Ward. I mean, buddy, he can hum the tater. And they could surprise some people.
Bill,
this year.
I think you guys hit on your quarterback. I think you guys hit on your quarterback. Which in that league, the truth about the NFL is, well, it's college ball too. No quarterback, no chance. But in college ball, you can hide from it a little more than you can in the NFL. Like last year, Tennessee just totally worked around Nico and won 10 games, made the playoffs. In the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, it's pretty hard to make the playoffs, John.
And that's why if your quarterback goes down to injury, usually don't have a backup. But that's a even greater problem in college now with the transfer portal. If your starting quarterback goes down, you're pretty much doomed.
It's unbelievable, Andy. Billy, you're the man. Great phone call, buddy.
Okay.
Incredible.
Get well, Tony.
Any lists or anything else you want to add?
Well, my buddies from Chattanooga this morning was giving me a hard time because I love promoting Jesse,
right?
And they're saying when is Bill going to call? Is Bill mad at us or something? I'm referring to Jed and JR. They come on from 6 to 10 on WGOW FM 102.3.
Remember it well. Super Talk.
Yeah.
Bill, love you.
And,
thanks. You're the man. You're out of here. Let's get our next.
Did you really think that was a great call, or did you just say that?
From Bill?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, man. How are you doing, guys?
Hey, doing great. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man. This is Juice from down in Georgia. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the quarterback situation. I'm gonna slant it from a different perspective. I'm lucky to have been around some college football people, and I know some folks at Appalachian State, and their basic rub on Joey is if you don't make him throw it 50 times a game, you're going to be in every game this year, and that's in the SEC. They said he's a leader. He's tough as nails. He's a gunslinger, but that's a nice change of pace. When I go back and look at last year with Nico, he was terrified to throw the ball. And so his stats were very underwhelming because he didn't. Now, you look at all those games we threw for under 200 yards. What kind of hyper offense is that? So I don't know if he was protecting Nico or Nico was just scared to throw the ball. But either way, you're just not getting the most out of that offense if you're not willing to push the ball. Is it going to be interceptions? Sure. But I'd rather personally have a quarterback at the end of the year, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Yep.
Than 19-5, right? That's just not going to be productive.
Is Juice your nickname because it's ironic? Because Nico was a quarterback without Juice last year. And you got to have some juice, man. When you play that position, you have got to have some juice about you.
Sure. And I think our running game is going to be fine. I think our offensive line is going to take a step. I mean, we've got 2 tackles that are 5-star guys. I mean, one's a freshman, but David Sanders, from all I've heard, he's the real deal, right? I mean, kind of gives me some Trey Smith vibes where we're not going to worry about him for 3 or 4 years. He's going to be the guy. I think Lance Hurd is in better shape. I like our line. We've got guys. We've got depth. I love our defensive line. We've got depth. Joey Aguilar doesn't have to be boy wonder here. The irony about Nico is his best game was the game I was at in Orlando, which was his very first game against Iowa.
He had juice that day.
He had juice that day. Mm-hmm. But last year, he didn't have any. And I don't know what it was, but, and here's the deal. Mike Matthews is one of the best receivers we've signed in 10-plus years on paper. Chris Brazel was wanted by everybody in the transfer portal. I'm not buying that we don't have guys that can make plays. I think we've got playmakers on the outside. We're going to have a strong run game that needs to be predicated on that. But also, Joey Aguilar, I just feel like is going to make more plays than Nico did because he's not afraid. And I think it's that simple. I think our offense is going to be better. Put me down for that.
Well,
it's not even close. Not even close.
I think if you're a quarterback playing with those two offensive tackles after the Oklahoma game, he should have been reluctant to drop back and throw the ball because they couldn't block good people.
That's true.
And I don't know. You might be overly optimistic about the receivers. You could be right, but they haven't proven it so far. Chris Brazel was a disappointment.
And it's not exactly regarded. Nobody at Tennessee is going to tell you that he's going to outwork anybody. In fact, he doesn't work at it.
Is he known as a warrior?
No. But this guy's got a different Chris Brazel than the one I'm used to. But I hope you're right.
Well, and I think the tight ends are going to help the receiving game, right?
No doubt. They're the strength of the deal. Those guys are the strength of the deal. Yep.
Right. Yeah, and so I think Miles Kitselman, Ethan Davis needs to take a step.
Yep.
And Brazel needs to decide if he wants to play football. This is his year,
no
or he's
doubt.
going to get passed up by the younger guys. So.
But now that's true. There are some kids this year that could take a spot. Last year, you had some kind of veteran guys that were sort of, I don't want to use the term broken down, but their bodies didn't cooperate. And like Brew McCoy's one of them. And then Squirrel White, I mean, those guys' bodies didn't cooperate as the year went on.
Why are there so many injuries at wide receiver now?
I don't know.
It just seems like an inordinate. Oklahoma lost its top 5 receivers last year.
They're doing it again in camp. They've got a bunch of injuries again in camp.
That's good.
Tony, you guys are closer to the team than I am, too. I'd love to get your perspective down in Georgia because I do love our running game because I think we've got depth for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
The Star Thomas kid from Duke, I mean, is he legit or is he just going to be kind of a guy we can throw in there to kind of help us get 8 to 10 carries, or is he a game breaker?
No idea. Okay. No idea.
Lots of unknowns, right?
Well, here's my thing. The reason I'm saying that is people will spin you right now. I got spun last year on Nico, and a lot of my answers are, unless the Brazel guy doesn't work at it, I know that's a fact. And that's why I will say that into a microphone. If you talk to anybody that covers a team and you get them aside and you say, does that guy work at it? They'll say, no, he does not. So he's one of those guys they have to poke and prod, to get to practice, basically. That's how this works in some cases. But because he's got all the work, that guy has a ton of talent. If that guy decided that he was going to really apply himself, we've seen him. I mean, we've seen him in games. The Brazel Dazzle, a couple of those incredible catches he made in the end zone last year. So I'm not saying that couldn't happen, but you do have a great point. I think they've got a couple kids that they like, but like John said, at this level, until you do it and until we see it, it's just potential. And so how do we get potential? How do we turn that into production? That's why this year is going to be really interesting, and it's like that across the board in the league this year. Even the halves have big questions this year. And Tennessee, I think, is like an almost half. What do you think their record's going to be, Juice?
I think 9-3 is the floor, really. I mean, unless Joey just absolutely tanks and he goes like 8 of 28 or something ridiculous. Like, again, I'm thinking that we get way better quarterback play, and people are like, that's crazy. But, again, Nico, to me, was our hindrance. I mean, I think we blew out Bama and Florida if we just had average quarterback play. He was atrocious in those games. Like, I remember the Alabama game, Gaston Moore threw his first interception on his first play. But Nico was like, hey, hold my beer, and we had the ball like the 25-yard line. He threw it to like the 5, and the ball hit his hand. Just unnecessary stuff. You go to the Arkansas game of how again, this guy was supposed to be a generational. I thought we were getting Bryce Young from Alabama. I thought we were getting
that's what they said. He was going to be a big Bryce Young. That's a really good stick by you.
300, 400 yards a game.
Yeah.
We were lucky to get past 150 a game. That's insane to me. And
he blew, man.
It blew my mind. So 9-3 is what I'm going for, guys. And it starts this weekend. But I just think we're going to be better at quarterback. I mean, and I'm not saying that's much because we were bad last year at quarterback. God bless Dylan Sampson, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good point. Well put. Thank you, Juice. Nico doesn't have Juice, but you got Juice. You're aptly named. The thing about the 9-3 thing, John, that I have a problem with, and I'm not telling anybody how to think because it's certainly not my nature, but Matt, to me, this is an 8-4 football team. And if they go 9-3, that's a wonderful season. But I kind of look at this. I'm just trying to look at it. What's the word? I'm trying to be fair to the head coach and trying to be fair to everybody involved. You made the playoffs last year. You contended for the playoff, a 14 playoff 2 years ago. You would have been in the current format. You know, an 8-4, like a respectable 8-4 season is not the worst thing in the world, is it?
This is such an accommodating schedule. When you look at that schedule,
it's true.
Let's just say you lose to Alabama and Georgia. Right. Even though both those teams are uncertain about how good their quarterbacks will be.
Yeah.
So it's not like a typical Georgia team or a typical Alabama team going into the season.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say Tennessee loses to both those teams. Who else in the first 2 months of the season will beat Tennessee? Mississippi State? Arkansas in Eland? Syracuse in the opener? I don't think so. I think what happens is you go into November and let's say you've got 2 losses. You're going to be playing 2 teams, Florida and Oklahoma, who are so quarterback dependent. And they play 2 of the toughest schedules in college football. There's a chance that DJ Lagway, based on his history, he might not even be healthy for the Tennessee game. Oklahoma, John Mateer, guy rushed for over 800 yards at Washington State. Oklahoma is going to lean so hard on him. I'm not sure how well he will hold up.
Well, their offensive line in camp, they've had a bunch of.
They had it last year.
I know.
And you play that kind of schedule. The 2 teams, those 2 teams are the next toughest teams on Tennessee's schedule. Certainly playing in Florida is a challenge, but we don't know the state of those quarterbacks in November, nor do we know the state of those coaches. Both coaches are on the hot seat. Brent Venables at Oklahoma, and of course Billy Napier at Florida.
Matt, where are you, Matt? Because John's making the case that 8-4 would not be a good season. Where do you rest, Matt? Now that we're on the precipice of this thing.
I think it's an 8-4 type team with kind of a 9-3, 10-2 like schedule. So it's 8 or 9 wins depending on how other team seasons are going. Like John said, depending on Lagway staying healthy. Mateer at Oklahoma's got to stay healthy. Those are probably the 2 most losable games outside of Bama and Georgia. So, and there's a chance you're favored in 9 games and maybe even 10 games this year if it goes your way. So
by the time you get there, you're right.
I think 8-4 is kind of the minimum to have what you'd call a successful year. But again, it kind of depends on how you lose, where they are, what adversity you face throughout the year. So, but it is a very favorable schedule to where you can overachieve to get. I don't think you can quite get to the playoffs, but if you get to that Florida game with only 2 losses, you're right there. You're probably penciled into the playoffs at that point, so you'd have to play your way out of it.
You know what I wonder, guys? I wonder if Tennessee's schedule ends up being so easy that 10-2 doesn't get you into the playoffs. We haven't talked about that.
No chance.
No chance?
SEC team at 10-2 is in the playoffs.
Yeah. Kind of like Indiana last year.
Yeah, but
with their 11-1.
Yeah, but if you play now, the only way that could go differently is if Alabama and Georgia both turn out to be bad teams.
Well, that's my point. We don't know. Till you see the season play out.
No, you're right. But the idea that Tennessee gets to play the 4 worst teams in the SEC and has a cushy non-conference schedule, to me, you're starting with 8 wins.
Yeah, you guys are making assumptions.
That's what preseason's all about.
I understand, but I'm not ready to go there. On our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, you're on the air. Hello, welcome in.
We can't just win, guys, though. We've got to cover the spread for Negative.
That's
or
a good
otherwise,
point.
I say we get rid of Heupel.
Dave called in yesterday and said that the clock will be starting on the demise of Josh Heupel if they don't cover the spread on Saturday, John, which I thought was a very fair, balanced, and even take from him.
Yeah, he needs to. I've heard some of his calls, and some of his calls are very good, and I think they spark commentary from the rest of your listeners.
He was off his lithium yesterday. He was all over the place.
Well, we probably shouldn't discuss medical conditions on the show, particularly with your callers, but yeah, he was.
I've heard the voices myself, so it's no problem.
Yeah, that's a little bit extreme. I just don't think if you go 8-4 with this schedule, oh my goodness,
it's a good season.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, John.
No, it is,
John. You got a quarterback. It's been here 100 days. Yes, it is. It's a good season.
Well, yeah, but this is the team you built
You're playing in the Southeastern Conference, John.
This is the team you've built 4 years,
8-4,
and you lead to this, and you go 8-4 with.
It's all right. It's like a C+. It's all right.
Wait a minute. Now you've lowered it to
season.
a C.
Well,
is
John,
C+ a good season?
John, I got all season high school. It was good enough for me. But go ahead to my caller. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. See, to John's point, though, at 8-4, who have you beaten?
Well, I mean,
yeah. Who have you beaten? You got to tout that win over Arkansas?
Did you beat them last year?
No, but
okay,
that
I'm
doesn't
going to tout them.
I mean, look at that. Arkansas, that's another coach who's probably going to get fired at the end of this year.
Matt's on my songbook. Matt and I are in the same. Now, look, it might be a schedule that is a 9-3 schedule, but man, you're bringing in a brand new quarterback, brand new receivers. They probably practiced together. What? 2 days in camp, all the receivers and the quarterback together. I mean, this thing's going to be a slow build, guys.
Do you think Boo Carter's going to be a big contributor against Syracuse? What's your latest on him?
Boy.
What's your take?
Matt, you're doing the projections. You're predicting the 2 deep. Where do you have Boo Carter as a precursor to tomorrow as we lay out the 2 deep, Matt? What's your guesstimation on Boo Carter, Matt?
I'd be stunned if he starts. I think he's kind of in a backup role.
Yep.
On defense, maybe that's why I think like that ETSU game is a good one for him to basically like play the whole second half with the backups and walk-ons is kind of a punishment deal, which also kind of in a way gets him in better game shape. But the one that's kind of interesting is will he be the punt returner? Because that's a role he had last year. I don't know if they want to give him that or not. But I definitely don't think he starts on defense.
I agree with you. I mean, I've already said I thought he should be suspended for the first game. If you can't beat Syracuse without Boo Carter, then you got bigger problems.
But you know what? In the Dome, I would be very, very early in that game. I would be very tempted to put him back there and let him run around that carpet.
Oh, now if you're going to play him, I would have him. I would definitely have him returning punts.
Yes, right on that carpet.
No, maybe not. I wouldn't. If you're going to play him, Josh Heupel decides to play him. Don't start him. Just make a point.
Yeah,
you've got to earn your starting position. But punt returns are different. Yeah, I'd use him as a punt returner.
My sense of Boo Carter, though, is that I just hope that he respects the opportunity he's been given for the rest of the year and makes it through the season. That's my hope for him.
That's what my worry is. He doesn't make it through the season because he seems like a hothead. And from looking at his mom's social media posts, I guess he gets it honest.
What were her posts like?
She's really something, boy.
Yeah, she's great, John.
I love her. She's fun.
Yeah, she's like the online version of Avery Johnson's dad and brother. Probably she got to attacking our fans.
Yep.
And she was never a Tennessee fan and stuff like that.
She'd whoop a man's ass. I know that. Yep.
Yeah, Tony sent me one of her texts.
She's really funny. Avery Johnson's father and the brother rolling around in the mud has to be one of the great things of all. That's got to be one of the best college football stories because that just embodies the passion of the sport. They lost a close game. the dad internalizes it because I'm sure he lives vicariously through his son like a lot of these
Sure.
parents do. He lost, not his son. The brother said something to him. They can just picture this. And now we're going to fight in front of everybody. And then when it first happened, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that's got to be an internet joke that the quarterback's father and his brother. Matt, did you think that at first, that it was kind of a joke?
I thought maybe it was like the dad or brother were involved, but kind of on the same side of something. But no, to find out that they were the ones that were going at it, it's pretty incredible.
And I mean, they were throwing. Like one guy had another guy in a headlock, and they were throwing at each other now. I'd love to see what that family's like behind closed doors.
See, that kind of played out like I envisioned, like a rapper Andy in Collar, Florida, doing a rap battle at Calhoun's in person. I think that's how that would end, Tony.
I'm thinking about doing that this year during one of the bye games, having a rap-off.
Last thing before I go, this is a DR ball, by the way, Tony. I know you saw my tweet. Do you think that Danny White will move towards the fourth quarter song being if you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home, and I'll hang up with you.
That's one of the greatest things ever. I retweeted that the other day. If you don't got no money, take your broke ass home. John, what happens to Danny White if this football year ends up 7-5? I don't know if he's ever considered that, but all this stuff he's doing, I don't know if he's ever felt the heat like he would feel the heat this year if this thing didn't work out well.
He'll go the other way. He'll encourage fans to spend even more money and sell it on being we've got to boost the talent on our roster. If you go 7-5 with this schedule, that's an awful season. So you need help. Fans, we need your help, i.e., we need your money. We're going to build a roster that can win a championship, and you'll be a part of that. Come on down and bring the money with you.
Utterly incredible. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. And this will be our final call because Laura's giving me that look like I told you to get off the air. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, guys? Joshy boy.
Wingo.
Laura giving you that stare, Tony.
Oh, yeah. She's telling me to get off the air.
Yeah, so, guys, do you think... I may get heat for this, but I don't think 8-4 would be a bad season from what we lost in the offseason.
No. You lost 7 wide receivers.
With that schedule?
John, you're playing in the Southeastern Conference, John.
Yeah, you play at Arkansas, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt.
John, you say that, and I think I'm looking at the 3 losses. Florida, probably. Alabama, probably on the road. Georgia at home. And my 4th loss is probably to that Oklahoma team here.
And you win 8. That's a good season. C+.
Yeah.
B-. You wouldn't call that a C+ or a B-, 8-4?
I'd call it a C, which was good enough for you in school.
I think we're unproven at wide receiver. And you don't know what you're going to get at quarterback from Aguilar. I know a lot of people are positive going forward in the season. But
no idea.
The jury's still out on him.
If we were a fan of another team, if I was doing the show in Syracuse, I'd be saying this guy's a human turnover, and we're going to turn him over Saturday. I'd be saying that into the microphone.
Yeah.
What else would you say if you weren't a fan? If you were not a Tennessee fans are like, well, the guys don't take care of. I do think they're going to coach that out of him.
I mean, there are going to be a lot of games this season where I think the defense wins you those games in the SEC.
Yeah.
And, guys, do you miss, when our defense used to be mid and the offense used to score a lot of points and go fast? Or do you guys like this now where it's conservative on offense and the defense is really good?
It's a great question. I'm a fan of real football. I like defensive oriented defense. I'm a believer that defense wins championships, and scoring a bunch of points and not being able to stop anybody is Arkansas with Bobby Petrino. That you've got a ceiling there. This thing here, when you're playing the way Tennessee is, and you're getting these great athletes on defense, you can win it all playing that way. What do you think, John?
No.
No?
No, go back to Georgia. His second national championship when he beat Ohio State in that semifinal game. How many points did he have to score to win that game?
Well, they had to keep scoring. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, and that was an elite defense. That's one of the SEC's all-time best defenses, and it still needed to score 40-something points to edge Ohio State.
Matt, how do you answer that question that Josh brings up, which is a great question, Matt?
Well, I'm a fan of winning, so you know,
that's where I'm at. I like winning.
You went 10-2 playing both ways.
Yep.
If you can kind of marry the two and get a little bit better offensively, and even if that sacrifices a little bit, say you're not a top 5 defense, but more like top 15, I think that's probably the wheelhouse to truly win playoff games and compete for a title. I'm a fan of winning.
Iowa wins a lot of games with defense.
Sure they do.
Yeah, I'm a fan of winning as well. So, if SMU would have beat Clemson in the ACC championship game this past season, do you guys think we probably would have hosted a game in Neyland, right? If that were the case?
Well, that's I don't remember.
No, it wouldn't have affected Tennessee at all.
No.
Would have had just Alabama would have snuck in the playoffs.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, guys, one last thing out the door. Tony, I want to say something if that's all right. But you were really good to Roger. You gave him a lot of time on the air and speak, unlike that idiot Jimmy Hines. See ya.
Thanks, Josh. Any final thoughts for us here on the way out?
What a call to end it on.
Thank you. John, thanks.
Yeah, and good call by Brian on the Syracuse guy. Javon, I thought he was awesome in breaking down Syracuse. Got a really good feel for their team.
Till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, Matt Dixon has the blog tomorrow. It's going to be unbelievable. The Tennessee Too Deep to behold. Since they wouldn't put a depth chart out, Matt is. These coaches today in the modern era are totally unsupervised. Not putting a too deep out or a depth chart out is just being completely unsupervised. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I mean, who cares? But your fans. I mean,
the fans want
the fans
want to see that.
Sure, they do.
There's so much build up for a college football season. It matters so much. They just want to see it. Even though it can change over the course of the season, it's not etched in stone. But still, you could just give them a little something to think about and talk about.
These coaches are not supervised, and they get away with everything. So, incredible. Thank you. Great job by John. Thank you to Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. My name's Basilio. We love you. God bless. G to the B to the O. And peace to my friend Bino. My gosh. All right, I'm going to run today's show back. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
FM translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Fired up, focused, and